literally, out of all the lives that you could have chosen, you've chosen this one. You're the chosen one. You're an alien, I think. And that's the main thing. We're all aliens here. We're all here from different planets. We're all different universes. We're all different beings, but we're all very similar in similar bodies, similar genetics. We're very similar, but very different at the same time. Hello, welcome back. Welcome if it's your first time here. I thought about a topic today for some reason, and it was that we're aliens, that we've been dropped. I once went to this osteopath, and he said, that you dropped into this earth, into this body through, whatever universe you were falling from, and you fell into this dimension, into this timeline, and you were born, and you choose the place. Somehow you choose the place where you are going to be born. And I don't know what he meant by that. I really don't know. But what I feel is that wherever you're put into this world, into whatever place that you're put in, you're supposed to be there, and you're supposed to make the most out of where you're put. So if you're put into Lithuania, where I'm from, if you're put in Canada, if you're put in Italy, you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to make what's the best out of that place, and if we're all aliens, then what are we doing here? I think that we're all missionaries. We all came here to help humanity achieve some kind of higher power, higher consciousness. Somehow understand that it's not how the society tells you that you're supposed to live. It's not how you are told. Like, there's a lot of things that we have to forget when we're on this earth. There's a lot of things that we were taught by other people or the society or the system that you're in, and you're told that you have to live a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to eat 3 times a day. Maybe you don't need to eat 3 times a day. Maybe one day you can eat less, the other day you can eat more. Depends on how you feel, Maybe you've been putting on weight and you don't even know it, just because you've been taught that you have to eat like 3 times a day, and you gotta eat fatty food because you live in such a climate and and nobody questions it. And if you don't question it yourself, then you don't know. And I think that you should, sorry about the wind noise, I think that you should question it. You should question why I'm thinking a certain way that I'm thinking, like, why am I a certain type of way? Why am I thinking this kind of thoughts? And I do that a lot. I question what I've been taught, because I don't know where my parents got the information from. Like, a lot of the times I burn because of that, because sometimes it's much better to trust the knowledge that is given to you by your superiors, by your parents, by your, ancestors. But the main knowledge comes from within, I think, and it's something that is not taught. I think it's something that's it's already been there for a long time, and that's why I think we're aliens, because I think maybe aliens are dictating certain frequencies, they're sending certain thoughts, certain patterns that you can pick up on with your thought waves, and you can go with it, you can sort of flow with it, you can sort of swim in that frequency river, in that specific frequency that you are in as you're thinking that thought, because thoughts are frequencies too. And if you pick up on a certain vibe, certain vibes are not yours. Sometimes you go to places where people have kind of like off vibe and you don't know what it is, but you can feel it. Like I feel it now when I go to places where people drink, because I stopped and I started to feel this anxiousness to excuse me, confirmation burp, as I've learned. I start to feel very anxious around people who drink, because that energy is so it's like kind of exciting, but it's also something that you really want to dim, and you want to dim it with alcohol, cigarettes, weed, whatever substance you can get your hands on, and sometimes it's not very healthy, most of the times it's not healthy. So I suggest that you realize what kind of alien you are, where you're coming from, where your frequencies are coming from. And one way to do it is to meditate, Another way to do it is to write. Another way to do it is to fast. I don't know, the quickest way I get to it is by fasting. I start to feel like as my body is clearing out, my mind is clearing out, and I don't know, if you're an alien, what would you do if you realize that you're an alien? What I mean is that you came from another planet. Like, what do you do here? You can get up to all kinds of things, when you don't think that you're a human and you don't have to conform to what is happening here, You can just think that, today I'm gonna practice not eating. Maybe I don't need to eat, maybe I will form some kind of different way. Maybe we were taught that we need to fill up all this space within ourselves because of why? What's the reason? What's the reason for doing that? Maybe we have evolved where we need very little food, very good food, something good for our systems. Because aliens, I don't think they eat, I don't think they eat. They don't eat food, definitely. I think they eat gold leaf or something like that. So that's the thoughts for today. I don't know if this is making any sense, but I'm just kind of inviting you guys to look at us in a different light, because we're all equal, we're all human beings, we're all in a human being body, I don't know where our consciousness is coming from, but I don't think that it's like a thing that forms from the brain. I think the brain is a receiver and a transmitter, and we can put different kinds of information in it, but it's also like a transmitter. It can receive and transmit frequencies for sure. So I don't know, just inviting you to think in a different kind of angle. So if that suits you, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you ever thought that you might be from a different planet, and maybe we can have a chat about that. And if it's your first time here, make sure to subscribe if you like what you're seeing. You don't have to, obviously, but it will help me. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. It's pretty late here, and I'm uploading quite late, but I like walking in the dark. I just met a friend, and it was a nice meeting. So it's time to go home, and I hope you have a good night. You can barely see my face now, but peace and love as always. We came here to do good, so make sure you do something good this day or night.